Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters, did you know that some of the in-your-pocket change could be worth a fortune? Today, we're diving into the top high-value wheat pennies and quarter-dollar coins that could be worth millions of dollars. Stick around to see if you have one of these rare coins hiding in your collection. First up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat cent is a significant coin in American numismatic history. While the regular 1944 wheat pennies are fairly common, variations with damage or unique characteristics, like color changes, attract more interest from collectors. 1944 marks a period when the United States was in the midst of World War II, and the coinage issued at this time is often seen as a representation of wartime America. During the 1940s, copper was in short supply due to the war effort, and this led to the famous wartime changes in coinage. For example, the 1943 Lincoln penny was struck in steel due to copper shortages. However, 1944 saw the return of the copper penny, with the US Mint producing a massive number of coins for circulation. Still, it is the rare examples that make certain 1944 pennies so valuable in today's market. This specific coin, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny, stands out because of its damage, its color change, and its dirty condition. While this may sound like it would detract from its value, in fact, collectors often find these types of unique coins to be quite interesting and potentially valuable, especially when the wear and tear are authentic and show historical use. The 1944 Lincoln wheat penny features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, which has been a hallmark of this coin since 1909. The reverse side of the coin displays 2 ears of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural heritage. The year 1944 also featured the D-Mint mark on coins minted in Denver, though this particular coin lacks a mint mark, indicating it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. When considering the condition and the unique aspects of this coin, it's important to understand how its damage and color change contribute to its rarity. Color changes, typically from exposure to environmental elements or chemical reactions, can add a unique charm to the coin, making it stand out as one of a kind in a collector's collection. The mintage of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny was incredibly high, with over 1 billion coins produced. This means that, in general, the 1944 wheat penny is a relatively common coin. However, coins with errors, unusual wear patterns, or color changes can have much higher value, even when the minting numbers are high. With millions of these coins circulating for decades, it's possible to find ones that have undergone some form of alteration or have become rare due to their condition. For a 1944 penny to command significant value in today's market, it would need to show some distinguishing feature. This could include a rare error, exceptional color changes, or specific damage, making it a highly desirable specimen. In today's auction market, a 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny in average condition might sell for $32,000. However, when this penny is in a condition where the damage is authentic and the color has changed, perhaps due to environmental factors or chemical exposure, its value can soar. Depending on the severity of the damage, the uniqueness of the color change, and the overall market conditions, these coins have been known to sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. In a recent auction, a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with similar characteristics sold for upwards of $66,000 if the damage is distinctive and the color change is particularly rare or aesthetically striking. Its value could easily rise into the $1,000 range. This demonstrates just how much a seemingly damaged coin can fetch when it has collectible appeal. Many collectors have a particular interest in damaged coins, especially when there are stories behind the damage, like how the coin was worn or altered during its time in circulation. In the case of this 1944 Lincoln wheat penny, the collector interest primarily stems from its condition and its scarcity in this state. It's a coin that tells a story, making it not only valuable but fascinating to collectors who want to own a piece of history with a distinct and unique character. Collectors will often seek out these coins as they present an opportunity to own something that cannot be replicated. The rarity of a color-changed and damaged 1944 penny is what drives its appeal in today's numismatic market. Next, we move on to the 1969 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark. This coin, featuring the large date design, is another gem in the world of collectible US quarters. Unlike the 1968 coin, this one doesn't have the D mint mark, but it does have its own unique appeal. Let's break down why this particular quarter is so valuable and what makes it stand out in today's auction market. The 1969 Washington quarter is another example of the large date design, which became a distinct feature of coins minted in the late 1960s. The large date design was introduced by the US Mint to differentiate the quarters from those produced in earlier years. This was part of a series that included other denominations, all featuring larger numerals for the year on the coin's obverse. The 1969 Washington quarter carries the same iconic design created by John Flanagan. On the obverse, George Washington's portrait graces the coin, surrounded by the inscriptions "Liberty in God, We Trust," and the year 1969 on the reverse. The eagle clutching arrows and olive branches is depicted, with the inscriptions "United States of America" and a pluribus unum. This particular coin is especially valuable because it lacks a mint mark. While many Washington quarters of this era were minted at the Denver or San Francisco mints, the absence of a mint mark on this coin indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The lack of a mint mark has made this particular quarter quite desirable, as collectors know that it's not as commonly found as quarters from other mints. In terms of market value, the 1969 Washington quarter, without a mint mark, holds a premium compared to regular circulation quarters. In fine condition, these coins can fetch around $200,000 at auction, depending on the demand and rarity. The market for Washington quarters, especially those with subtle differences like the absence of a mint mark, has been steadily growing as collectors search for unique pieces that tell the story of US minting history. The appeal of this coin among collectors is also driven by its connection to the era in which it was minted, an era that saw significant changes in American society and coinage. The 1969 quarter is a symbol of the late 1960s, a period marked by social change and political unrest, making it even more intriguing to collectors who appreciate the history behind these coins. A graphic appears showing recent auction prices for the 1969 Washington quarter, demonstrating how they've increased over time. Next up, the 1958 Lincoln wheat cent was produced. The US Mint had long moved past the wartime shortages of the 1940s. The 1950s were a time of economic prosperity in the United States, and this is reflected in the coinage of the era. The 1958 penny was part of the final year of the classic wheat design before it was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. The 1958 Lincoln wheat penny was produced in massive numbers as the US Mint was still working to meet the demands of the growing population and the increasing number of coins required for circulation. As with the 1944 penny, the 1958 penny itself isn't especially rare. However, variations, errors, and specific conditions can dramatically increase its market value. What makes this particular coin exceptional is the large date on the reverse and the D mint mark from the Denver Mint, paired with its red color in a dirty condition. The red color of the coin refers to the original coppery hue, which is indicative of its condition when it was first struck and its preservation over time. Despite its dirty condition, this coin holds tremendous appeal due to the large date and its historical significance. The 1958 Lincoln wheat penny features the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse features two stalks of wheat, a symbol of American agriculture. The large date, first used in 1955, is one of the design features that makes this coin unique. The 1958 penny also comes with a D mint mark, signifying that it was struck at the Denver. In terms of color, the term red is used by collectors to describe the original reddish copper hue that is present when a coin is in near mint condition. The dirty condition refers to a coin that has likely been exposed to the elements or been mishandled over time, which can result in some discoloration or grime on the surface. Despite its less than ideal condition, the coin retains its value due to its historical importance and the potential for it to be restored or. The 1958 Lincoln wheat penny had a large mintage with over 1 billion coins produced. The D mint mark, in particular, was used for coins struck in Denver, and the large date variation is one of the key design elements that has drawn collector interest. As with other high mintage coins, the 1958 penny itself isn't particularly rare, but certain features, like the large date and the condition of the coin, make it more valuable in the market. In general, a typical 1958 Lincoln wheat penny in average condition will sell for $10,000s, however. This particular coin, with its large date, D mint mark, and red color in a dirty condition, is likely to fetch a much higher price. Depending on the degree of dirt and wear, this coin could be valued anywhere from $15,000s at auction. Some 1958 pennies in better condition have been known to sell for several $100s, but when considering one that is dirty and shows signs of aging, it's the scarcity of the particular combination of features that drives its value. Collectors of Lincoln wheat pennies are always on the lookout for examples that stand out, and the 1958 penny, with a large date and mint mark, is one of those. The collector interest in this coin is largely driven by the unique combination of features, especially the large date, D mint mark, and the coin's condition. While dirty, this coin has an aesthetic appeal for collectors who appreciate the historical context and the rarity of such specimens. Moreover, the large date and the D mint mark make it highly desirable among those building specific collections of Lincoln wheat pennies. Next up, we have the 1968 Washington quarter dollar with a D mint mark error. This particular coin stands out due to both its rarity and the unique condition it holds. Despite its rather worn and dirty appearance, this coin holds immense value in the current auction market thanks to a striking error. But before we dive into its market worth, let's explore its historical context, features, and why collectors are so interested in this specific coin. The 1968 Washington quarter was minted as part of the U.S. Mint's regular coinage series. This period in U.S. coinage history marked the transition from older designs to those more reflective of modern America, even though the Washington quarter itself had been in circulation since 1932. What makes the 1968 coin especially interesting is the presence of the large date design, which was part of a series of quarters minted in the late 1960s. The obverse of the 1968 Washington quarter features the classic portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States, designed by John Flanagan. It shows Washington in profile, facing left, with liberty inscribed at the top in God We Trust beneath the portrait, and the year of minting below. The reverse displays an eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum surrounding the coin's motto. This coin carries the mark of the mint from where it was produced, D for the Denver Mint. Now, here's where things get interesting. The 1968 Washington quarter with a D mint mark error has a unique feature that differentiates it from others of its kind. In this particular case, the D mint mark was misstruck, creating a distinct D error. While most collectors would be interested in a coin's minting precision, an error like this can make the coin highly desirable for collectors seeking rare specimens. The black color of the coin's surface, resulting from years of tarnishing and dirt accumulation, only adds to its mystique and unique nature. Many collectors believe that coins with this kind of patina tell a story about their journey through time. In today's market, a 1968 Washington quarter with a D error mint mark in dirty condition has gained significant value due to its rarity and the error associated with the coin. Coins with this type of mistake often pique the interest of error coin collectors who value these unique imperfections, while a typical 1968 Washington quarter in average condition might be worth around $28,000 a coin with an error and distinct characteristics can fetch anywhere from $41,000 at auction, depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for error coins, especially when combined with additional factors like historical context and a unique design. The 1968 D error is particularly valuable because of its rarity, and as fewer coins like it are discovered, the price continues to rise. Auction houses and coin dealers alike report significant bidding wars for these types of rare finds, further driving up demand. Next up, the 1917 Abraham Wheat penny with a D mint mark is one of the more intriguing coins in American numismatics. Though the coin we are looking at today is in less than perfect condition, featuring color damage and dirt, the potential value in the market remains significant due to its rarity and historical significance. The 1917 wheat penny, minted during the reign of President Woodrow Wilson, was part of a series of coins designed by the famous sculptor Victor David Brenner. Brenner's design featured President Abraham Lincoln, making it a tribute to the nation's 16th president. The wheat design on the reverse side of the coin symbolizes prosperity and the nation's agrarian roots, which were especially poignant during the early 20th century as America continued to shift toward urbanization. The 1917 year itself was a turbulent time in American history as the United States entered World War I. This pivotal year marked a change in the economic and political landscape, adding another layer of historical interest to the coin. The 1917 Lincoln wheat cent was minted in two varieties, one with no mint mark struck at the Philadelphia Mint and one with the D mint mark, which was struck at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint produced fewer coins that year, making the 1917 D a rarer find compared to its Philadelphia counterpart. Despite its condition in this specific example, dirty and with some color damage, this coin still holds a significant place in the market. Coins in this state are not ideal for most collectors who focus on high-grade examples, but they are still valuable for those who seek out rarities and historical pieces. The value of a 1917 D penny in less than pristine condition can still fetch a respectable sum, typically ranging from $43,000 depending on the extent of the damage. Coins with color damage often still retain their collectible value because of the year and mint mark, though mint errors and well-preserved examples can go for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The obverse of the 1917 Lincoln penny features the classic image of Abraham Lincoln, with "In God We Trust" inscribed above his portrait, and the year 1917 at the bottom. On the reverse, the wheat design, two stalks of wheat on either side of a centered inscription, E pluribus unum, remains a standout feature of the coin. The coin's design is simple but elegant, and this combination of historical significance and clean lines is one reason why these pennies are so widely collected. While the 1917 D penny does not have a particular error that stands out, collectors of Lincoln cents often gravitate towards specific variations like mint marks, die cracks, and slight misprints. Errors like double strikes or overdates add to the rarity and demand. But even coins with wear and dirt attract collectors looking to complete their collection of different years and mint marks. The 1917 D is especially sought after by numismatists who focus on the Lincoln penny series. Though the market value of coins in less than perfect condition can be lower, there's still a healthy demand for the 1917 D, particularly from collectors who are seeking the entire range of Lincoln cents produced during the early 20th century. Next up, the 1983 Washington quarter dollars with a large date and a P mint mark. Much like the 1984 version, the 1983 quarter was part of the regular circulating coinage minted by the United States in the 1980s. However, despite its more common appearance, the coin has piqued the interest of collectors for a variety of reasons. The 1983 Washington quarter was minted during a time of economic growth in the United States. The early 1980s saw the country recover from the 1970s stagflation and oil crises. The 1983 quarter, which featured the same standard design as most post-1932 Washington quarters, marked a steady year in U.S. coin production. This period was also notable for increased demand for quarters for everyday circulation, as the population grew and economic activity expanded. The P mint mark signifies that the coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which has a long and storied history as one of the primary facilities for coin production in the United States. Many Washington quarters minted in the early 1980s bear the P mint mark, which was first used in 1942 to signify coins produced in Philadelphia. As with other Washington quarters, the 1983 coin features a portrait of George Washington on the obverse side, with the reverse showing a spread eagle holding arrows and an olive branch. The main design change for this year was the inclusion of a slightly larger date, which is characteristic of the 1983 quarter series. Collectors often find the large date feature interesting, as it indicates a small shift in the minting process. This design alteration, though minor, is one of the few differences that separate the 1983 Washington quarter from other coins in the P Mint mark, denoting the Philadelphia Mint, further adds to the coin's collectability. For collectors, the combination of the large date and the P Mint mark is a notable variety. The mintage for the 1983 Washington quarter was high, with hundreds of millions of coins being produced. Despite the high mintage, coins in better condition, particularly those with fewer signs of wear, are still valued higher. In dirty condition, like the coin in this example, the market value is more modest, typically ranging between $50,000 depending on the degree of damage and wear. However, for well-preserved examples, especially those with little to no visible wear, the value of the 1983 Washington quarter can increase significantly. Coins in excellent or uncirculated condition can fetch prices upwards of $65,000 or more. In some cases, coins with proof-like features, such as a mirror-like finish, might bring in even higher prices in auctions. As with the 1984 version, one of the most exciting aspects of collecting Washington quarters is the potential for error varieties. The 1983 Washington quarter is no exception, and errors such as double dies or die cracks have been found on some of the coins from this year. These varieties can drastically increase the coin's value. For collectors, the primary interest in the 1983 Washington quarter with the P Mint mark lies in its rarity in better condition, as well as its potential to house unique error varieties. While it may not be as rare as some other quarters from different years, the 1983 coin is still a solid piece for those looking to complete their collection or find rare examples. Next up, the 1934 Abraham wheat penny without a mint mark is another fascinating coin that holds considerable value in the collector's market. While this example is in fine condition, its value is enhanced by several factors that make it particularly noteworthy. The 1934 penny was minted during the Great Depression, a period of intense economic hardship in the United States. Despite the struggles of the time, the government continued to produce coins to ensure the functioning of the economy. The wheat design on the reverse remains a symbol of the country's agricultural roots, while the penny itself continued to be an essential part of everyday transactions. The 1934 Lincoln wheat cent is often considered a relatively common coin in terms of its production, with the Philadelphia Mint producing a large number of these pennies. However, despite its high mintage, coins in fine condition are still highly desirable, especially as the Lincoln wheat cent series continues to grow in popularity among collectors. In fine condition, the 1934 Lincoln penny without a mint mark can fetch anywhere from $58,000, with higher prices for specimens in better condition or those that feature unique characteristics, such as strong strikes or slight errors. However, the coin remains quite affordable for most collectors, and its value is mainly driven by the overall demand for Lincoln wheat pennies, particularly from collectors who are filling out their collections with specific years and mint marks. As with most Lincoln wheat pennies, the obverse features a profile of President Abraham Lincoln with "In God We Trust" inscribed above and the year 1934 below. On the reverse, two stalks of wheat stand as a reminder of the nation's agrarian heritage. The simple yet striking design remains a hallmark of the Lincoln cent series, and it continues to appeal to numismatists of all ages. While the 1934 penny itself does not feature any major errors, collectors often seek out small variations in the coin's design, such as doubling, die cracks, or slight off-center strikes. Coins from this era are part of a large series of Lincoln wheat cents, so collectors frequently search for the best examples in terms of design and condition. Interest in the 1934 penny is high among those seeking to complete their collection of Lincoln wheat cents, and even in fine condition, the coin remains valuable, given its historical context and the larger cultural significance of the Lincoln cent. This penny continues to be one of the most collected coins in America. Next up, the 1966 Washington quarter dollars a classic example of how a coin's condition can dramatically influence its value. While the regular 1966 quarters are fairly common, a significant lamination error in a no-mint mark version makes this coin rare and highly valuable to collectors today. The Washington $quarter series continued to be produced during the 1960s as part of the U.S. Mint's ongoing coinage program. The 1966 Washington quarter had a standard mintage, but it stands out due to a unique error that affects only a small portion of the production run. Coins struck without a mint mark from this year are often associated with the Philadelphia Mint, but it's the coins with lamination damage that have caught the attention of collectors. The 1966 issue is particularly interesting because it was during a period when the mint was experiencing various issues related to die wear, metal quality, and even the production environment. Lamination errors, which involve defects in the planchet, the metal blank used to strike the coin can cause layers of the coin to peel or chip off, leading to what collectors call lamination damage. Like all Washington quarters, the 1966 coin features the iconic image of George Washington on the obverse with the eagle on the reverse. However, it's the no-mint mark version that adds an extra layer of intrigue to this specific coin. The absence of the mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and the addition of a lamination error transforms a common coin into a valuable piece of history. The lamination damage on the 1966 Washington quarter can range from minor to severe. Minor errors might just show a small flake or chip in the coin's surface, while more extreme examples can show larger portions of the coin missing. These errors are considered highly collectible because they reflect the imperfections of the minting process and the challenges the mint faced during that era. The value of a 1966 Washington quarter in lamination damage condition has been steadily rising in recent years. A typical lamination error coin can fetch between $400,000 depending on the size of the error and the overall condition of the coin. In more significant cases, where the lamination error is especially pronounced, these coins can reach values of $430,000 or more. The interest in coins with lamination errors is particularly strong among error collectors who seek out the most unusual and unique variations of standard coins. The 1966 Washington quarter in this condition appeals to a niche market of collectors who are focused on errors and the quirks that make coins fascinating. The rarity of finding a lamination error in such a specific year only adds to the demand, making this coin a prized possession for those fortunate enough to. Next up, the 1950 Lincoln wheat cent is one of the most captivating and valuable coins in the United States numismatic world, particularly when it comes to rare versions like the large date with an S mint mark. This coin holds historical significance, has an intriguing design, and has captivated collectors for decades, especially in rarer and damaged conditions. The Lincoln wheat cent, produced from 1909 to 1958, stands as one of the most iconic coins in American history. Featuring President Abraham Lincoln, this coin was a mainstay of daily transactions during the first half of the 20th century. The 1950 Lincoln wheat cent specifically marks an important period as the United States was recovering from World War II and moving into the post-war era. The 1950 large date variant, which became particularly interesting to collectors due to its unique features, was one of the final years of the wheat cent before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Cent in 1959. The S mint mark indicates that this coin was produced at the San Francisco Mint, making it even more valuable due to its relative scarcity compared to those minted in Philadelphia or Denver. In 1950, the United States Mint produced several varieties of the wheat cent, and collectors today prize those with distinct characteristics. Like the large date, the mint mark placement, and the overall condition of the coin. While most of these coins were produced in relatively high quantities, the demand for rarer specimens has kept values high on the auction market, especially when coins like the 1950 S are found in unique, albeit damaged, conditions. The mintage of the 1950 Lincoln wheat cent with an S mint mark stands at 30,381,000 coins. Despite this relatively high mintage compared to some other rare coins, its value has been propelled by the demand for high-quality or uniquely damaged examples. Though a considerable number of 1950 cents were produced, they weren't always preserved in mint condition, contributing to the rarity of well-preserved or misstruck examples. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for these special editions, particularly when they exhibit wear and tear, because these coins present a unique opportunity to own a piece of American history. The 1950 Lincoln wheat cent features the classic wheat design on the reverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. The coin's obverse shows President Abraham Lincoln's portrait, which is one of the most recognizable features in the history of American coinage. The reverse side is marked by the two stalks of wheat and the words E pluribus unum, along with United States of America, creating a symbol of prosperity and the country's agricultural roots. On the 1950 ES variety, the mint mark S is located beneath the date, and this mint mark often helps collectors differentiate between various regional mints. The large date variant was specifically produced to address the need for a higher relief on the coin, allowing it to be struck more clearly. The large date 1950 coins have slightly larger numbers for the year, giving them a distinct appearance compared to their small date counterparts. However, in the color-damaged and dirty condition that many of these coins are found in today, the design features can appear faded or worn. Despite the damage, such coins often still retain enough original details to make them valuable to collectors, especially because of their rarity in this worn state. The 1950 S Lincoln wheat cent, with color damage and in a dirty or worn condition, still holds an impressive value on the auction market today. Typically, coins in this condition can range from $500 depending on the extent of the damage and the overall rarity of the piece. However, when such a coin is well preserved or exhibits unique characteristics, collectors may bid much higher, sometimes reaching $1,000 or more at a specialized auction. Coins with errors, unusual wear, or even slight misstrikes often fetch a premium. In recent years, the rise of online auction platforms has only fueled the demand for such coins, driving up the value as collectors from around the world are willing to pay top dollars for rarities like this. Errors, such as double strikes or misplaced mint marks, make this particular coin more intriguing to collectors. Although the 1950 S large date isn't generally known for having a high number of errors, even small imperfections in the minting process can drive the price up. The more unique the error, the higher the collector's interest. Additionally, the damaged color of the coin may affect its grade, but it also makes it a standout piece. Some collectors find these imperfect coins more valuable because they showcase the history of circulation and the wear that comes with being in constant use during the mid-20th century. Collectors are interested in the 1950 S Lincoln wheat cent because it's part of a transitional period in American coinage, making it an important symbol of the time. The relatively small mintage and historical importance, combined with unique wear and errors, ensure that this coin remains a prized asset for many collectors and investors. Next up, the 1982 Washington quarter dollar, especially in its rare large date variant with the D-era mint mark, is a coin that has raised eyebrows in the world of coin collecting. To understand the true value and significance of this coin, we must first dive into its history, design features, and what makes it so highly sought after in the market. The Washington quarter dollar series was first introduced in 1932, commemorating George Washington's 200th birthday. By the early 1980s, the United States Mint had produced a vast number of these quarters, with various modifications to the design and minting processes. However, 1982 is particularly important because it marks the period when the mint faced significant issues related to the precision of its dies and the minting process. The 1982 Washington quarter dollar was produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with the D-mint mark indicating that it was struck in Denver. Interestingly, the large date version of the 1982 quarter was an unintended error stemming from an issue with the number dies. As a result, there was an increased interest among collectors, leading to a sharp rise in demand for the large date 1982D Washington quarter. The coin features the familiar Washington quarter design, which was first introduced in 1932 and remains largely unchanged to this day. On the obverse, you'll see a portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, facing left. The reverse features a bald eagle with its wings spread wide, and the inscription E pluribus unum above the eagle. What makes the 1982 Washington quarter stand out is the large date feature. The 2 and 8 in the date on these quarters appear larger than the ones in regular dates, making them identifiable to collectors. When these large date quarters were produced with the D mint mark in Denver, they became even more sought after, particularly those with minting errors, such as the black-colored dirty condition error. The D error mint mark, combined with the black color and dirty condition of these coins, adds an additional layer of rarity. Errors in minting, particularly those involving mint marks, are highly coveted in numismatic circles, while a normal 1982 Washington quarter might fetch a modest price. The error variants, especially in poor or damaged condition, often attract higher values because of the rarity and historical curiosity they represent. In the case of the 1982 D error quarter, the black color is typically a result of improper storage or contamination in the minting process, adding to the coin's uniqueness. Collectors of error coins appreciate these imperfections as they represent the human factor in coin production, making each coin a one-of-a-kind piece of history. As of recent auctions, the 1982 Washington quarter with D error in black, dirty condition can command anywhere from $200,000 depending on the severity of the damage and the desirability of the coin in its specific condition. In higher grade or well-preserved versions, this coin could even push higher into the $234,000 range. Collectors are particularly drawn to error coins for the same reasons they appreciate rare and limited edition pieces. Each error coin has a unique story to tell, and the 1982 Washington quarter with D error mint mark is no exception. For collectors of Washington quarters or error enthusiasts, this coin represents a thrilling tip. Over the years, the interest in this coin has only grown, especially among serious collectors looking to complete their sets or invest in error coins that might appreciate in value over time. The appeal of error coins is undeniable because they are often few and far between, and a well-maintained example of this coin is like finding a hidden treasure. Next up, the 1958 Lincoln wheat cent is one of the last editions of the wheat cent, which had been in production since 1909 as the final year of the wheat design before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Cent in 1959. The 1958 coin holds a special place in numismatic history, particularly in the context of its condition and the lack of a mint mark. By 1958, the United States was undergoing significant changes. The Cold War was intensifying, and the country was rapidly transitioning into the modern era, with economic prosperity following the end of World War II. The Lincoln wheat cent had been a beloved coin for nearly 5 decades, representing a simpler time in the nation's history. The 1958 Lincoln wheat cent, particularly those without a mint mark, was minted in Philadelphia, as the mint marks had been phased out on most coins by this point. The absence of a mint mark indicates a Philadelphia coin, and it is one of the last to feature the wheat design, which is why it is still highly sought after by collectors. The mintage of the 1958 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark was around 1,092,000,000 coins. While this large number of coins was produced, it is the surviving specimens in well-worn or damaged condition that are particularly valuable. The 1958 is particularly notable because it represents the end of an era leading to the replacement of the wheat design with the Lincoln Memorial design the following year. Coins from this year, especially in damaged or unusual conditions, are especially sought after by collectors who are looking to complete their sets of wheat cents from different years. While the 1958 coins may not be the rarest in terms of mintage, their historical importance and the transition to a new coin design give them a unique place in the market. The design of the 1958 Lincoln wheat cent is identical to that of other wheat cents. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln is featured in profile with the inscription "In God We Trust" and the date 1958 appearing beneath him. The reverse displays 2 ears of wheat and the motto "E pluribus unum," emphasizing the nation's agrarian roots. The lack of a mint mark on the 1958 coin means it was minted in Philadelphia, where most of the nation's coins are struck. Although it's a relatively common version of the coin, those found in color-damaged or dirty conditions make for intriguing pieces because they represent the coin's history of use, including being in circulation for over half a century. In terms of value, a 1958 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark in dirty or color-damaged condition can still fetch anywhere from $28,000 depending on the degree of wear, damage, and the coin's overall rarity in that condition. If the coin has unique wear or error traits, the value could jump considerably, especially at numismatic auctions or specialized markets. While 1958 coins without a mint mark are fairly abundant in circulation, the condition and the particular color damage seen in some examples make them valuable for those interested in coins with a unique history. The 1958 Lincoln wheat cent is primarily of interest to collectors who specialize in error coins or unique varieties. While this coin doesn't typically exhibit dramatic errors like double strikes or off-center minting, small misprints and unusual wear patterns are still highly prized. A coin that is dirty or shows color damage is a great example of a historically circulated coin that bears the marks of time. For collectors, the 1958 Lincoln wheat cent is a part of the final years of the wheat design, and as such, its value is tied to its place in history. Even in damaged condition, the coin represents the end of an era in American coin. Next up, the 1974 Washington quarter. We find ourselves examining a coin that embodies both history and a fascinating minting era. This coin features a large date with a D mint mark and is in a dirty condition that makes it highly unique and incredibly valuable to collectors. The 1974 Washington quarter is part of the continuing series of Washington quarters, which had been in production since 1932. By 1974, the US Mint had refined its minting process, but like many years before it, this coin was not without its imperfections. The 1974 issue saw a significant number of coins struck, with the D mint mark indicating that they were produced at the Denver Mint. However, in this case, the coin we are looking at has an error in the date. The large date style was used in 1974, but certain minting errors caused the numbers to be struck unevenly, creating a visually distinguishable difference between the large and small date versions of the coin. These discrepancies have caused an increased interest in the 1974 Washington quarter with the large date and the D mint mark. Just like other Washington quarters, the obverse of the 1974 quarter features the portrait of George Washington, while the reverse showcases an eagle in flight. The large date feature refers to the size of the numbers in the year 1970 on the coin's reverse, making it easier to distinguish from other varieties of Washington quarters produced that year. What makes this coin so valuable is the error minting in combination with its dirty condition. Coins with mint errors have long been prized by collectors, and this coin is no exception. The added dirt and wear can often make it seem like a less-than-perfect piece, but for collectors, this imperfection adds to the charm and rarity. In today's market, a 1974 Washington quarter with the large date and D mint mark, even in dirty condition, has substantial auction value. Depending on the level of the error and the condition of the coin, values can range anywhere from $46,000 when this coin is well preserved with only slight dirt. It could even surpass the $66,000 mark, especially when it's sold through trusted auction houses where collectors are actively bidding for rare and unusual varieties. It's worth noting that despite its dirty state, a coin like this has remained in demand for its error and the uniqueness of its minting process. Coins with noticeable errors often become prize pieces due to their rarity, and because the 1974 Washington quarter was produced in such high numbers, finding an example with an error and in less than perfect condition gives collectors the opportunity to own a piece of history. Collectors of Washington quarters and error coins are particularly drawn to the 1974 Washington quarter with a large date and the D mint mark because of its historical context and the rarity of the error. Coins with mint errors are always highly collectible, and this particular quarter is of significant interest to those who focus on collecting Washington quarters from various years. For many, this coin represents a unique opportunity to own a piece of US coinage that was not quite as it should have been, making it all the more valuable. The value of this coin is derived from the fact that mint errors, especially those that affect the design and date, are not only uncommon but also provide insight into the complexities of the minting process. Next up, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a highly interesting and rare coin. While 1946 is a standard year for most Lincoln pennies, the large date version of this penny stands out due to its specific design features and rarity in certain conditions. The most fascinating part of this specific coin, however, is its black color and dirty condition. Typically, coins in this condition would be considered to have lost their appeal, but for some collectors, this particular characteristic can actually increase its value. 1946 marked the end of World War II, and the United States was beginning to recover from the economic impacts of the war. The mintages of coins like the Lincoln Wheat pennies were higher, which typically means that these coins are less rare. However, a few coins from the period have stood out over time due to errors or other unique characteristics, and the 1946 large date is one of them. The Lincoln Wheat Pennies design, introduced by Victor David Brenner, features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse. The reverse design is what gives this coin its wheat penny nickname. However, the large date version of the 1946 penny can be distinguished from its smaller counterpart by the size and placement of the digits on the date, a subtle but important detail for collectors. The mintage of the 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny was high, but variations such as the large date and those in particularly worn or unique conditions, like this one in black color and dirty state, are much rarer. In the current market, the black color does not detract from the coin's value. In fact, it's seen as a unique form of patina, adding character to the coin's history. Auction prices for well-preserved 1946 pennies can range from a few dollars for common grades to several hundred for specimens in excellent condition. However, coins in a state like this one, blackened and dirty, may have a niche market where collectors with an interest in patina might pay a premium. At auction, prices can vary, but one thing is clear: the coin's value increases as it moves into higher grade or more unique conditions. Typically, a Lincoln Wheat penny in this condition could be worth anywhere from $59,000, depending on the auction, with certain extreme cases where it fetches even more. Collectors often seek out rare or unintentional errors, and the 1946 large date is often included on lists of collectible error coins. Whether it's a specific variety in minting, a misalignment, or simply the coin's state of preservation, these factors make it a unique piece for collectors. The black color adds intrigue for collectors interested in the history behind a coin's surface and its journey through circulation. Next up, the 1984 Washington quarter dollar, with a large date and a D mint mark, might not be the first coin you think of when discussing rare quarters, but it holds significant value in the right condition, especially when collectors are in pursuit of an example with a unique history and notable minting characteristics. The 1984 Washington quarter dollar is part of the ongoing series of Washington quarters, which have been minted since 1932 to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington. In 1984, the United States Mint was producing standard circulating coins, which included a wide variety of quarters with different mint marks across various locations. Mint mark signifies that the coin was minted in Denver, Colorado, one of the primary minting facilities in the United States. Although the 1984 Washington quarter is a regular coin, it holds specific appeal to collectors because of certain key features, one of which is its large date design. During this period, there were subtle design variations that occurred due to changes in the minting process. These differences are a critical aspect of why the coin continues to attract attention in the collector's market. The 1984 Washington quarter features the classic obverse design of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan. This portrait of Washington has remained a symbol of the country's first president for decades. On the reverse side, the coin depicts an eagle with its wings spread, holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing the United States' commitment to peace, while acknowledging the need for strength and defense. The large date on the 1984 quarters was a feature that caught the eye of collectors as a small design change, especially compared to the previous years. The Mint decided to use a slightly larger font for the date, which, although subtle, was noticeable when viewed up. This change made certain versions of the 1984 quarter, including those with the D Mint mark, stand out to those collecting minting varieties. The mintage of the 1984 Washington quarter was substantial. However, the coin's market value depends largely on its condition. A quarter in dirty or heavily circulated condition is less valuable than one that has been kept in pristine. When assessing the value of the 1984 Washington quarter with a D Mint mark in dirty condition, collectors and investors often look at the rarity and the demand for coins from specific years and mint marks. In today's auction market, coins in dirty or worn condition are generally valued lower. However, the 1984 Washington quarter with the D Mint mark is still a sought-after item, especially for collectors who specialize in Washington quarters and who are looking for specific varieties or mint mark combinations. Dirty coins can sometimes sell for anywhere from $64,000 at auction, depending on the wear and condition. However, if the coin was cleaned or damaged too much, its market value could be significantly lower. The more significant market impact for this coin comes from well-preserved versions that show minimal wear. A mint state or near mint 1984 Washington quarter with the D Mint mark can fetch a price well above $71,000, with rarer specimens or those with unique features potentially going higher. While the dirty condition doesn't necessarily detract from the coin's appeal to collectors, the condition does play a major role in determining its exact auction value. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1984 Washington quarter is the potential for errors. While this coin is not known for having major minting mistakes like some of its counterparts in other years, any errors in the production process, such as misprints or die defects, can increase its value exponentially. Errors such as doubled dies, die cracks, or misaligned strikes can make this quarter especially valuable if they are spotted by keen-eyed collectors. Moreover, the collector's interest in this coin is driven by its role within the larger context of Washington quarters. Many collectors specifically focus on obtaining as many different mint marks and date variations as possible. The D Mint mark from Denver, combined with the large date design, makes this particular quarter a desirable coin for those looking to complete or upgrade their collections. In summary, while the 1984 Washington quarter with the D Mint mark in dirty condition might not be a top-tier coin in the marketplace, it holds importance for collectors due to its minting history, unique design features, and the potential for rare error varieties. Whether it's part of a larger Washington quarter collection or an individual find, its value depends on its condition, rarity, and appeal in the ever-evolving collector market. Next up, this 1937 Abraham Wheat penny is another prime example of how a seemingly damaged coin can actually be worth a lot of money in the eyes of collectors. This coin has a unique lamination damage, a type of defect caused during the minting process where layers of the metal do not properly bond, resulting in peeling or cracking on the surface. The year 1937 was during the Great Depression, a time when the US economy was struggling to recover. The penny, as one of the most common circulating coins, saw a lot of usage during this time. The mint production of these pennies was also extremely high, meaning that while there are millions of 1937 pennies in circulation, errors like lamination defects are relatively rare and highly sought after. Similar to the other wheat pennies, the 1937 Lincoln penny features the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse. The obverse is marked with Abraham Lincoln's portrait, a design that has remained almost unchanged since its introduction in 1909. However, the most notable feature of this coin is its lamination damage. This defect occurs when the planchet, or metal blank, does not properly bond together during the minting process. This can cause parts of the coin's surface to flake off or create discoloration. The 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny had a total mintage of over 200 million coins, which makes it relatively common compared to other pennies. However, finding a 1937 penny with lamination damage is far rarer and can be more valuable than a standard coin in similar condition. At auction, this specific coin can fetch anywhere from $100,000 depending on the severity of the lamination damage and overall condition. Coins with more extreme errors can be worth much more, especially if the lamination defect is highly noticeable. This rarity in condition, along with its unique history and defect, increases its value. Lamination errors are considered a form of minting mistake which often attract collectors. Coins like this one show an example of how errors can lead to a coin becoming highly valuable. Collectors are particularly interested in coins with lamination defects because they show the human element in the minting process, and they provide insight into how coins were made in the past. The dirty color of the coin further enhances its appeal for those interested in authentic or raw pieces that tell a story through their appearance. This coin, the Washington Quarter, is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. numismatic history. As we explore the 1995 Washington Quarter, specifically the version with the D mint mark in red color and dirty condition, we're diving into a coin that is as intriguing as it is valuable. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. Over the years, it has undergone several changes in design, metal composition, and minting strategies. However, the 1995 Washington Quarter is especially interesting due to its unique market value. In 1995, the US Mint produced over 1 billion quarters, including those minted in Denver with the D mint mark. The general mintage of these quarters was high, but the ones with unusual features like the red discoloration and dirty conditions are much rarer to find in today's market. These coins, despite their dirty appearance, have been found to attract a lot of it, especially among collectors who are searching for distinctive features, such as errors or wear patterns that make them stand out. The design of the Washington Quarter has remained largely unchanged since 1932. On the obverse, it features a left-facing portrait of George Washington, modeled after a famous Gilbert Stuart painting. The reverse of the coin depicts an eagle in flight, which was designed by John Flanagan. However, the 1995 issue with the D mint mark is distinct in that some examples have a reddish tint, which can occur when the coin is exposed to specific conditions, like certain environmental elements or exposure to chemical reactions. Though it may seem like a minor flaw, collectors have shown immense interest in these dirty red-colored coins. For some, this adds to the coin's unique character and perceived rarity, especially since most collectors tend to focus on pristine, well-preserved coins. In today's auction market, the 1995 Washington Quarter with the D mint mark in red color and dirty condition can fetch surprising prices. Despite its less than ideal state, these coins have been known to sell for thousands of dollars, especially if they have certain characteristics that make them stand out among others. The combination of the 1995 year, the D mint mark, and the red color is rare enough to make it an attractive piece for coin collectors looking for something different to add to their collection. A 1995 Washington Quarter in red color and dirty condition has sold for anywhere between $300 and $100,000 at auction, depending on the level of damage and the specific condition of the coin. Higher quality examples with minimal dirt and a more distinct red hue can even approach $100,300 or more. This is a prime example of how a coin that may seem worn or damaged can still hold significant value, thanks to its rarity and collector demand. Collectors have always shown a fascination with coins that have unique features, and this 1995 Washington Quarter is no exception. Errors or unusual conditions, such as discoloration, can make coins more attractive because they deviate from the standard production run. This coin, though dirty and showing signs of wear, is one such example. Its uniqueness lies in its specific aging process, which gives it an almost mystical aura among collectors. Many collectors specifically seek out coins with unusual colorations, like red-toned coins, as they can symbolize different historical moments or circumstances surrounding the coin's creation. The 1995 Washington Quarter with a red hue and dirty condition speaks to the coin's journey through time, having endured wear while still preserving its historical significance. The fact that this coin has become so valuable shows how the market for rare and uniquely conditioned coins can be. It's not just about the age or the mint mark, it's about the narrative behind each coin and how that plays into its worth. Next up, the 1940 Abraham Wheat 1 cent is one of the most collectible coins among US penny enthusiasts, and for good reason. This particular coin, with its large date and no mint mark, holds immense value in the numismatic world. The coin was part of the long-standing Abraham Lincoln Wheat Cent series that was struck by the US Mint from 1909 to 1958, with the iconic design of Lincoln's profile on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. Let's set the scene. In 1940, the United States was in the midst of a challenging economic environment, still recovering from the Great Depression, but gearing up for World War II. The US Mint was focused on maintaining the production of everyday coins like the Lincoln Wheat penny to keep the economy moving. With a mintage of over 1 billion pennies, the 1940 coin was not initially considered rare. However, its condition, historical significance, and rarity in certain grades make it a highly desirable piece. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat Cent is distinguished by its large date and a lack of a mint mark. The no mint mark designation means that the coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, where most of the coins from this period were produced. When these coins first entered circulation, they were primarily used in everyday transactions. Over time, as they circulated, many were worn down or damaged, making higher quality examples less common and more valuable today. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted in substantial numbers, but the key to its rarity lies in the condition of the coin. During its time, millions of pennies were churned out each year, and most saw heavy circulation, which resulted in wear and tear. However, coins that were preserved well and stayed in good condition have become rare, making the 1940 wheat penny in circulated condition incredibly valuable in the market today. The total mintage of the 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny was a staggering 1,071,000,000. Despite its large production, the condition of many coins that survived decades of circulation means that only a small fraction remain in excellent, collectible condition. These high-quality examples fetch remarkable prices at auction, with uncirculated pieces commanding attention among collectors and investors. The large date variation also adds an extra layer of interest, as collectors look for these subtle differences that set some of the 1940 pennies apart from others. The design of the 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny was created by Victor David Brenner, featuring a left-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, on the obverse. The inscription "Liberty" arches over his head, and "In God We Trust" appears just above his shoulder. The year 1940 is prominently displayed beneath Lincoln's portrait, followed by a small D or S mint mark, indicating the mint where the coin was struck. However, coins without a mint mark were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which gives them a distinctive appeal for collectors. On the reverse, the 2 stalks of wheat have long been a symbol of America's agricultural roots. The E Pluribus Unum motto and the inscription "United States of America" are clearly visible. The coin is crafted in copper, giving it a rich reddish-brown appearance. When in good condition, when tarnished or worn, the coin can take on a more brownish shade, adding to its character and history. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny in circulated condition is highly sought after due to its scarcity in well-preserved form. In today's auction market, coins in very fine or extra-fine conditions can fetch anywhere from $82,000, depending on the quality and demand. However, in mint state these pennies can climb to much higher values, often surpassing $121,000 at auctions. Coins with particularly low mintage or those exhibiting unusual wear patterns like lamination errors or die cracks can also be valuable, with some examples fetching prices over $200,000. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat Cent is also highly prized due to various minting errors. These errors may include die cracks, striking issues, or even off-center strikes, which add a layer of rarity and intrigue for collectors. Additionally, the large date variety in the 1940 pennies stands out as a collectible variation. A clean, high-quality coin with little to no wear could significantly increase in value, often making it a prized item for collectors. Collectors particularly value the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny for its connection to American history, as it symbolizes the country's resilience and recovery during a turbulent time. Coins from this period represent a tangible piece of American heritage, making them not only valuable, but also deeply meaningful to those who collect them. If you enjoyed this video, Next up, the Washington Quarter Dollar series is one of the most iconic and enduring coin series in U.S. numismatic history, and while most of these quarters are common and easy to find, some rare variations stand out among collectors. One such example is the 1980 Washington Quarter Dollar with a D-era mint mark in color-changed dirty condition. This coin combines a rare era, historical significance, and the right amount of unique wear and patina to make it an incredibly valuable piece on the auction block today. The Washington Quarter Dollars was first introduced in 1932, designed by John Flanagan to commemorate the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. This design remained in circulation for most of the 20th century, though over time, slight modifications to the design and various mint marks have created a range of different coin types. The 1980 Washington Quarter falls within the modern era, a time when quarter production was at its peak. During the 1980s, production was high across various mints, including the Denver Mint, which is responsible for the D mint mark seen on this particular coin. However, it was also a period when minting processes were becoming increasingly mechanized, leading to occasional errors. Errors in the minting process are common, but what makes this coin unique is the D-era mint mark. The 1980 Washington Quarter Dollar features the traditional design by John Flanagan, showing a left-facing profile of George Washington. The reverse side showcases an eagle perched on an olive branch, symbolizing peace, with the coin's denomination quarter dollar inscribed underneath. The coin's obverse also contains the inscriptions "Liberty in God We Trust" and the year 1980. For most of the 1980 quarters, the mint mark is located just beneath the date, signifying the location of the coin's production. In this case, the D-era mint mark coin features a mint mark that is misplaced, either overstruck or partially missing due to a mishandled die. This error is rare, and its appearance on a quarter elevates its status as a valuable collector's. Mint errors are a fascinating aspect of numismatics. In the case of the 1980 Washington Quarter with a D-era mint mark, the issue arose from an error in the minting die at the Denver Mint. Often, errors like this happen when the dies are not properly aligned or when there is wear and tear that causes incomplete strikes. This resulted in a partially struck or misplaced mint mark, which gives the coin a distinct and unique feature that draws attention from error collectors. Collectors are especially interested in error coins because they represent rare anomalies in coin production. Errors like the D mint mark on a Washington Quarter are highly desirable, particularly when they are in clean, untouched condition. However, the color-changed, dirty condition adds an entirely different layer to the value. Color-changing and dirty condition. While a coin's condition typically affects its value, sometimes the unusual appearance of a coin can increase its appeal. The color-changed effect on this 1980 Washington Quarter likely resulted from environmental factors, oxidation, or prolonged exposure to various elements. This alteration in color can often create a visually striking piece, making it stand out even more. Dirty condition coins, while generally seen as less desirable, can sometimes command higher prices due to the uniqueness of the alteration. The natural aging process and discoloration of the coin can evoke a sense of mystery and rarity, which attracts certain collectors who appreciate the history of a coin's wear. The 1980 Washington Quarter with a D-era mint mark and color-changed dirty condition can fetch a remarkable price on the auction market, with values fluctuating based on the coin's specific characteristics and the degree of the error. In a typical auction setting, this coin could see bids ranging from $500 to $1,000 in lower condition, but if it is in high demand or has a particularly distinct error, prices can soar well into the thousands. As of the latest market trends, a mint state example with a D-era mint mark has been known to sell for over $2,000 at auction, with collectors continually seeking out these rarities. The combination of the mint mark error, color change, and age-related dirt gives this coin a market niche of its own. Era coin enthusiasts, particularly those who specialize in quarters or Washington-era coins, will pay a premium for these unique finds. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And as always, keep hunting for those rare treasures.